Hola Madridistas, welcome to another episode of Let's Be Real, La Liga edition. And we're going to be facing Girona, who are right now 11th in the league. And I don't know if the league really matters to me because Barcelona just won against Atletico, the last hope of every Real Madrid fan. It wasn't really a actual hope, it was a fleeting wishful thinking. But Barcelona got the job done against Atletico, and here we are.
Well, I didn't care much about the game, I'll be honest. But nice to see again, Jacob. Um, I hate doing these previews, I'm not gonna lie. Especially for La Liga because there is no point in us sitting here and actually, waffling over stuff that has been long been done and finished. Um, I told about what I think about La Liga back in January, and some people couldn't take it. Well, it was exactly like I feared, like I didn't want to happen. But our consistency in the league, ultimately, it would come back to bite us, and it has. Today's result was never in question, in my humble opinion. Barcelona might have looked like they must have taken their foot off the gas pedal a bit, considering the amount of points they have amassed as a lead in the past month or so. They can afford to do that, man. I think they can afford to lose another couple of games. How many games do we have left? Seven?
8 games left. Yeah.
8 games left. So they can lose another two and comfortably win La Liga. Um, so today wasn't even a factor. I saw the opening, I think 15 minutes or so. But even then, by the flow of the game, I could see that like Atleti are gonna keep trying, keep throwing whatever they can at it. But in the end, Barcelona at home, they'll get the job done. I didn't see the Ferran Torres goal. Was it a good goal?
Not really, man. So what happened was it was a long ball by Ter Stegen, and then it went to the
Yeah.
over to the wings. Apparently, Rafinha kind of controlled it with his hand or chest, and then all the Atletico players were kind of distracted, trying to call out that it was a handball. But the referee had none of it, and Ferran Torres was just kind of unmarked at the edge of the box. He just rolled it in.
Mm. We have seen this happen. We have seen this happen so many times over and over again. Um, when it comes to La Liga, what I used to tell my mates, my Barcelona mates, like eventually there'll come a point where Barcelona uh, find something within them that used to work for them and go back to basics, man. And that's what I told them when Lewandowski was initially signed. I hope you're recording, by the way, Jacob. Yeah, um, you're not. Can you start it
Yes,
now?
sure. Yeah,
Yeah, just start it now. It's fine.
cool.
So, welcome back again to another episode of Let's Be Real podcast. Um, we'll be actually previewing the Girona fixture. Like most usually, it is on the day before. Like whenever it is a three match midweek. In the equation, but unfortunately, since we can't arrange for the preview tomorrow, it's 24-hour early, and like barely a day after our post match. So it is new to us. It's new to me, certainly. I was supposed to be having one peaceful day off, but Javier decided to, ditch me. But I'll get him. I'll get him later. Um, for now, we were discussing Barcelona and their firm grip on La Liga, right, Jacob? And today's fixture wouldn't even matter, like you discussed, like a couple of moments ago, because I've been telling this to my Barcelona mates, yeah, because they were very disheartened by the whole mess. Bartomeu, the club in crisis, can't sign any particularly exciting talent. Um, they had a few bright sparks, like Balde was there, mm, Araujo was a revelation and whatnot. But still, they lacked that cutting edge. And I told them very clearly when they bought Robert Lewandowski that this man would fetch you the league again. And I was right. Um, Many people didn't like the fact that I liked Lewandowski going to Barcelona, because
Wait, why?
because that was basically me as a Madridista wanting better from Barcelona. They thought, like I'm basically siding with them. But I had mentioned it like clearly back then as well. If Lewandowski moves to Barcelona, it is a win-win for the league, for us, for like it'll push us to be better, push the league to be better. Unfortunately, the league being better is up in the air, especially since the Negreira stuff that has been going on. Not going to even get into it, but Lewandowski has completely transformed Barcelona. Even though he has gone through some sort of an iffy spell as of late, but still, like his signing is what I think finally made Barcelona go back to their roots of dominating um, La Liga. But let's just quickly get into the comments, and then you can take it away because Girona. I've nothing to talk about Girona. I just hope we get the win, man. Honestly, that's my 2 cents. Dennis the Great says Tleti were poor, man, but Stegen made key saves. Yeah, I didn't see the game. I was asking Jacob how it went. I can only imagine because Ter Stegen has been that guy for Barcelona the whole of the season. Um, Whenever I've seen Barcelona in action, it's more often than not. Yes, good defending at times, but Ter Stegen making inhuman saves to keep them in the tie.
Yeah, man.
Um,
But today, I actually like what I saw from Carrasco and especially Griezmann, man. These guys have been, really good run of form, and it was really fun watching them play. Not gonna lie, it was almost like watching Vinny and Benzema link up, at certain times.
mm, mm.
And the saves that Ter Stegen had to make were unfortunately kind of easy, except for one Grayson chance in the second half where they could have drawn it level. It was actually Morata who played Grayson on. Like it was Grayson was standing in the 6 yard box and he did a flick, but unfortunately it went right straight into Ter Stegen's arms. It was a good save. It was point blank as well.
Athletic gave it a real run for the money. Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, Barcelona had a few chances as well to put the game beyond doubt,
Mm,
but the ball just didn't want to go in.
mm, yeah. I'm just tired, honestly. La Liga season is a long. Palmet has won the season. Dennis
Mm.
Arcade also was saying, "Yeah, man, I'm happy Barcelona didn't lose it. We would have gave the Madridistas fake hope. It's good for the Madridistas that we are shamelessly supporting Atleti today." I mean, if Barcelona were to somehow throw it away, like we discussed in the post match yesterday, like it would give us some unnecessary distraction. Let's be real here. Um, that distraction would have cost us immensely, especially with two trophies on the line, which me and many Madridistas would prefer over the league title. I know some Madridistas are hung up and still uptight over our league form, but it's only understandable. 5 titles in the last 15 years. It's a shocking return for a team that is supposed to be fighting on all fronts um, from the get go every season. But it is what it is. Um, if the Champions League comes home again, this will be forgotten. This will be forgotten. Just the very next day. Um, and Dennis Abate says Lewandowski was looking like Braithwaite today.
Come
Is
on,
is that
Dennis.
true,
No,
Jacob?
no, 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 no. Like, don't throw Braithwaite in the mud. Yeah, he's been in a better form than Lewandowski in the last 2 months. And yeah,
He's
I
been
think
scoring some vital goals, yeah, for Espanyol.
yeah, forget yeah. And the thing with Lewandowski is like you could clearly see that he is trying to go for the Pichichi again. So there was a
Mm,
sequence of play where Lewandowski got to completely on board. There was
yeah,
only Oblak to go for, and Rafinha was running in through the right. It was an open goal, and if he just squared it off to Rafinha, it was an easy goal. 2-0. But Lewandowski chose to go around Oblak, and it was just a messy situation. Like you could clearly see
Mm,
the Pichichi was on his mind.
why though? He's just so obsessed with the fact that in totality, let's be honest, in totality, Lewandowski is a better finisher, better goal scorer than Benzema, yeah. But he knows that as well, and people around him knows that. We know that. Um, but he himself, as someone who has ego myself, I can relate to it quite a bit. Lewandowski, in his own mind, would be thinking, well, you see that man over there, Benzema. He looks he looks so much more agile than I do. He does stuff that I can only dream of, and he also was a facilitator for perhaps the greatest goal scorer of my generation, that was Ronaldo. And then when he left, he took on the mantle and he showed the world, he showed Europe that he can actually bag in the goals himself as well. So I think that would have taken a huge hit on Lewandowski's ego, especially last year. And when he actually looks back at his own career, um, all throughout his time from his rise to prominence at Dortmund, he would think, yes, I've been bagging in goals, but when it comes to the nitty gritty, especially we're talking about Champions League, which is the greatest honor in club football, yeah. Uh, he must be thinking, despite all the wondrous talent that I had in my teams over the years, and also the tire of coaches that has actually been with him from Ancelotti, Guardiola, yep, Hackney, who he actually won the Champions League with, but he'll be thinking he could have done better. So it's only understandable, this Pichichi thing plays into his mind. If I remember, he was he's a bit like Thibaut. Remember, he came out and spoke at the press conference. I think like 4 years ago. My team should be doing better to help me out. He said that after he won the Bundesliga, I think, or after he won the Pichichi, or he lost the Pichichi. I'm not sure, because he had a couple of good years fighting it out with Aubameyang, if I'm not mistaken, at Dortmund, and yeah, he always seemed like a guy who can be easily rattled. So I'm not surprised by the fact that he tried to do something similar today. But yeah, man, Barcelona, they are gone. So what happens to Atleti now? Do they have a chance to pip us to second?
So now, if we do win against Girona a
Mm,
couple of days tomorrow, and we should be 5 points clear of them. That's like an enough cushion, Sunil, to really forget about the league. Kind of,
mm,
we can afford to rest even more starters when the time comes, and it's just a win-win situation. Barcelona winning today.
mm. Yeah, I think that's what many of the fans wanted. A draw might have appeased a certain section. Javier was referring to it last night, which is understandable. But yeah, like either one of them losing is nice in itself. But Jacob, walk us through what Girona presents as a threat, and so it's almost like a precursor to the main event, because we play City less than 2 weeks later, and this is supposed to be City Light, yeah, or B-Tech City, C-Tech City,
Come on,
City's
man.
half cousin, half sister.
Well,
No,
how can this compare to City at all? So
it's
Girona,
a sister club. It's a sister club. So the DNA
sure.
though, they
I mean,
probably serve the same brand of pints, both both over at Girona and at Stockport for Manchester City. I don't know. I'm not sure,
I don't know, man. I'm not
but
going to justify that they have any links to Manchester City because it doesn't look like it. And yeah, man, Girona are right now at 11th in the league. They lost the
mm,
previous match, so they lost some footing with Celta, and Sevilla are fast catching up. So it is crucial, like if they want to, get a top table finish, which might be Manchester City's wish as well. They should probably go to try to win the next few matches. Of course, with Real, it's almost impossible, but they do have some easier fixtures coming up, and I can see them actually uh, finishing in the top half of the league, you know. And of
Oh,
course,
they lost to Valladolid, yeah,
yeah,
yesterday.
yeah,
Mm, away. I remember in my memory, they have some really good players, and like even more so than the players. I remember going away to Girona was never easy. Even when they got recently promoted, I think was it 2 years back when we won the La Liga under Zidane? I'm not sure. That was their first season back in recent memory. Girona was always a tough place to go, and they always gave us a fight. And they're not exactly anti-football, if you know what I mean. Girona, fairly expensive, have a couple of good weapons all throughout the years. Stuani is the one that comes to my mind. Um, I reckon Castellanos has taken over that mantle as their focal point and whatnot. But still, I think they have enough talent in their ranks to hurt us, man. Like if they want to, and their league standing doesn't lie, right?
yeah,
Girona isn't exactly mid tier club or mid table club, or like even aspiring to be upper half. Girona is supposed to be languishing somewhere like 16, like or 17, just above the relegation zone. But I think they have done themselves proud, I guess.
yeah,
Um, vying for like a top 10 finish with
yeah,
like
man.
what,
And
7 games to go.
yeah, with 8 games to go, they're looking in a really
Mm,
good position. So that's the thing, right? They are hitting above their weight. They're a bit more ambitious. So now they're like, oh, wait, we actually have to like try to get the best out of this run of form. And
mm,
which was the reason why like our loanies couldn't really make it in that team. Of
mm,
course, Miguel Gutierrez, this season he has had 26 appearances, which is not bad at all. But you can
mm,
clearly see that, the deficiencies that he had when he was playing with us is like clearly out there to see when he's over there. His defense has not really improved. He always one who can put a good ball into the box, yeah, which is why Girona have chose to bring him on whenever they needed a goal. It has kind of worked out for them. He has won them a couple of crucial points. I remember seeing a few Gutierrez clips and wondering why we couldn't have kept him as a backup.
mm.
And but the actual fact is that he's not really good enough as a defender still. With
I've,
Renier,
I've
go ahead.
Renia, we'll get into it. Let's leave that for the next bit. But Gutierrez, from my memory itself, like people used to be so hung up on him as well as to why he didn't make the cut when he got like a few chances to prove himself. Like he looked right, especially that was um,
Marcelo's declining season.
yeah, yeah, that's what I was getting to. And it was a breath of fresh air, honestly, because Marcelo was looking like he's finito, and Gutierrez gave us something different. Um, like you just alluded to earlier, his delivery was pinpoint more often than not. Um, but the defensive deficiencies, man, like let's be honest here. How old is Miguel Gutierrez? Is he like 23, 22?
It's like 21 or 22.
Right. So if Trent Alexander-Arnold can be excused for not knowing to defend at like what 24, 25, and people basically telling them defenders don't mature until they're 28. I guess Miguel Gutierrez has a good 7, 8 years to go until he can like finally defend better.
I don't
But
know, man. With Real Madrid, you'd never have the time. You don't have that luxury.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I'm just telling you the standards are very skewed back in England. um but Miguel Gutierrez, there is an actual talent there. But his credentials, I don't think stack up right now. To start for us. Um, between him and Fran Garcia, who do you think is the more complete player at their current development stage, Jacob?
Oh, definitely Fran Garcia, man. I think it has to do with
Mm,
Fran Garcia's physicality. He can run up and down the pitch like all throughout the game, and he's very much faster than Gutierrez as well. So it doesn't matter if Garcia is a bit young and if he's caught out of position defensively. he can still
Mm,
run back and put in that last ditch tackle. But with
mm.
Gutierrez, if he's beaten. That's the thing. He just doesn't have the physicality to go back.
Yeah, Frank Garcia is a fucking pit bull. That's what I've noticed. Like he never gives up, and as a proper live wire. Only thing is he's a bit too stocky and short.
Mm.
Stockiness it helps down the wing. Like it can fend off your Chukwuezis and whatnot. But still, I'm excited for Frank Garcia. But so many fans hope for brighter, better things from Miguel Gutierrez, and rightfully so. They were disappointed that the club didn't put enough faith in him. But do you see a way back for him sometime?
Maybe for a team like Tottenham, where things are always going wrong, and they might spring for someone like him. But I don't see him come back to us, to be honest. We just have so many better options.
Like let's be honest, right? Like when Reguilon came on, like he was at least three times better than Gutierrez, right?
Yep.
Like he was really really good. Reguilon, I remember until under Solari, right? Very
Yep.
very broke through. Um, he was very good. So compared to that, Gutierrez, he has shown signs of bright sparks, but I don't think it was enough. I don't think like people shit on Theo Hernandez a lot for his time with us, but in my memory, yes, he was defensively shit. But bro, the raw power and pace he showcased even then, I clearly see it at Milan, and it's a shame that even that didn't work out for us. But and that's the thing, like you never know when someone is going to actually click. And but the funny thing is with us, like you said, there is next to no time for people to bed in, get a feel of things and whatnot. You take your chance or you don't. That's how it works with us. But Dennis the Kid was saying, Sunaid, Manu fans are annoying, bro. My Manu girlfriend thinks her team is stopping City trouble talk. Jacob, is my mic okay now? You were referring to some echo earlier, right?
Yeah, it's all good.
It's all good. So yeah, man, I was watching some bits of the FA Cup final, and boy, oh boy, I feel sorry for Brighton. They had their chances, just weren't clinical. United were fielding a makeshift back line, Shaw playing centre back, Dallo playing left back, and whatnot. I just feel sick into my stomach, like watching them go through to another final. But we all know how the final is gonna be, like it's gonna be City lifting it up, um, regardless of what the fuck happens, on June the 6th, I guess, or June the 3rd, not sure. Um, but let it happen, man. Like I guess you should be providing your girlfriend with even more confidence that even we are gonna try and stop City's trouble. Maybe for once, like those copy pastas on Reddit. What do they say? Holding your hands together and chanting. What was that? Accent Barca
Kumbaya.
fans.
Yeah.
Gracias, cry for something, some shit. I don't remember exactly what that was, but yeah, it seems like that is the kind of season that we're gonna be dealing with. Mm. He also says it's a shame we sold Theo Hernandez and no, we have Mendy. Well, people are already see. This is what I don't like about people, man. They're just so quick to write someone off. I just can't believe it. Like when people over here among our very panel, they are like already sharpening their knives. Mendy, he's out. He's out. Like I'm gonna make sure that he doesn't play a part anymore. They're ready to wipe him out. But for me,
Man,
I don't forget stuff easily. Mm.
okay, let's like forget about Mendy a bit, and talk about Theo Hernandez. Like when he played for us, he was playing like a low budget Theo. I mean, Lucas Vazquez, man. He just didn't have any idea about when to push up, when to come back, and it
So
just like
young, super raw, bro. Super raw, man.
yes, I wouldn't even take him now. Like, sure, he does give you a lot going forward, but
You wouldn't
still,
take him now?
like over Mendy, I'll still take Mendy, man.
Oh yeah, okay, fair, 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 fair. But Theo's a like we talk about Marcelo. Theo Hernandez is a once in a generation wing back. as simple as that. Like, I don't think we recognize or give him enough plaudits. But you'll see in a few years, like, yeah, when he constantly makes it big with Milan, you'll notice, because I've seen this guy play. Like, he's a proper leader, proper leader.
Single-handedly takes Milan places.
Yeah, yeah. He's not your average left back. I'll tell you that. Right. Dennis okay was saying, yeah, man, we have compassion. I went to the Barcelona and United game in the Europa League. I was singing Puta Barca all game.
Nice.
And Dennis again also said, this is not me dissing Mendy. Mendy can be important player for us, but I prefer Theo. Yeah. In an ideal world, everybody would prefer Theo, bro. Like, he has the best of both worlds, in my opinion. Obviously, like most fast players that I always mention, they just underestimate their opponents, man. They always have that um ego telling them, like, I can catch up to fucking anyone. So they just take their eyes off the ball for a bit, and before you know it, they're beaten. And like, other than that, like, it's very hard for Theo to be having a very poor game. I've seen maybe like once or twice him actually having below 5, below 4 performance. Whenever I've seen Theo, he's just a live wire. But going back to Girona, Jacob, Renier Jesus, this man has been bestowed with the expectation, the Holy Trinity, like Vinicius, Rodrigo, Rene Jesus was supposed to be the three musketeers from the favelas, but unfortunately only two turned up, and Rene Jesus got sidetracked either by poor planning from his um, agents, from us, in loaning him out to Dortmund. I don't think Dortmund essentially is a bad call, but he
I
didn't
mean,
cut it there, unfortunately.
it is a bad call.
Bundesliga.
Come on, man. Like
Hmm,
selling him to Dortmund is a bad call because Dortmund are focused on growing their own players and selling
hmm.
them for a profit. They just couldn't do that
But
with Renier.
Jude Bellingham went there. It wasn't a loan. Okay, I know that Jude Bellingham wasn't a loan. But if you look at it plainly, we can all clearly see, once Dortmund grows a player, he is basically essentially a loan. He is being
No,
sold.
but they're not going to make any money off of Renier. But with every other
Yeah,
player,
yeah,
even
yeah.
Mokoko,
That's a
yeah.
factor. That's a factor. That's a
So
factor.
he was always going to be down in the pecking order. But the hope was
Mm,
that he would learn from these other young players and turn out to be a very dynamic forward.
mm,
And he just got no shout outs, man. Like especially after the first year, we should have yanked him. At
mm,
least put him in maybe even Castilla. That would have been better than sending him to Dortmund again with that same coach.
mm. Yeah, I just feel sorry for the lad, because the funny bit is, I've seen very, very little of him, and the very little I've seen of him, he's nothing special. Like, he looks fairly ordinary, man. I hate to say that, but Rene Jesus, whenever I've seen him, doesn't look like anything special. I hope that changes, and he can kind of change things around. But, like, in my humble opinion, yes, Dortmund is a club different to what, like, you can say a Leverkusen, where like, I guess Carvajal went and like learned his trade, but loaning him back to another Bundesliga club, like a Mainz, or like a Köln, it can probably come good for Rene Jesus. Like, Bundesliga gives people young talent time. They have better space to attack. It's a more like end-to-end league. It might help Rene Jesus. Like, this 2 years at Dortmund. Obviously, he has been through hardship, so it'll only mature him as a player, as a person. Probably his next loan spell is so fucking crucial, so crucial. He should be going back to somewhere like Bundesliga. Your dogs are going crazy, Jacob.
Oh yeah, I just muted myself.
Right. Fair. I hope they're not doing what I think they're doing, but it's fine. It's fine.
It's a crazy street, man.
Right,
It's India.
right. Dennis the Great was saying Dortmund could win Bundesliga this season. I'm not sure, man. I've heard that so many times throughout my lifetime that that I get PTSD even by not supporting Dortmund. It is just a shame, that we are going to be seeing the red colors again, shine the night skies once the end of the Bundesliga season comes. I guess only 5 games left, right? So I don't know. But Thomas Tuchel, he has a very good reputation for spoiling dressing rooms. When I told this to man was laughing. Man was actually questioning what do I know about football. Thomas Tuchel, the apparent mastermind, who can deal with egos, who can deal with tactics. Man, if he can sort out a team like Bayern, where everything is sorted out over beer, over gazillions of good pure lager, you know, if he can't sort it out there, I don't know where he can sort it out. PSG, you can understand it's a fucking circus, yeah. But Bayern,
Man,
I get the
what
yeah.
happened to that situation with Mane and Sane? Is it all good now?
I'm not sure. Like they were, I guess, in the Champions League game against City. Mane was coming on for Sane, so they had a quick hand slap and whatnot, while coming on. So I don't know, bro. Yes, the players would have been, showing some unrest. Nagelsmann was sacked unjustly, many would have thought, and whatnot. But a guy of Thomas Tuchel's stature should walk in right away and set things right. Apart from the first game, look what has happened. So yeah, like before guys spout these names, these football purists. I hope Farooq you're listening in. Like when you guys go for all these stylish names to be linked with us, just just think about it for a second, and realize how blessed we are to have just an eyebrow doing the talking rather than all these guys super high on yeah man, ego, authority, control, all of that. I hate all of that. I hope that doesn't happen to a club. I remember with Mourinho how distressed I was. Like even though yes, it was a war, it was us against them, it was an underdog mentality against an unbeatable Barcelona side. But eventually, when the results weren't clicking, it was a very bad moment. I wasn't even that into football, and it took a toll on my mental health. I couldn't accept what these men were doing. Like him walking over and poking Tito Villanova in the eye and whatnot. Didn't sit right with me. So I don't want my club to go down that route again. I've tasted it. Yes, it tasted pretty
I
fucking
mean,
sweet when we won
yeah,
the La Liga, but
no, even if we don't, like it's pretty entertaining at least for a neutral.
it's entertaining. But I hold my club to such high standards. We can't be doing shit like that. Honestly, like we are not Barcelona. They can cook up all that paparazzi stuff and sell it for euros and help fund a few transfers. We are not that club, man. Honestly, we should be doing stuff better. We should have a class about us, and that's what we have shown. That's what these last, ever since post Mourinho, if you noticed, the club was so scarred. Every decision regarding PR relations, um, relations with other clubs, it has all been softened. Why is that, Jacob? Because the club internally was a mess. You know,
Yeah.
and people at the board level, the players, like even the fucking grass at the Bernabeu, they knew, like we can't stoop that low. Honestly, we can't stoop that low. But it is what it is. Um, yeah, man, Girona, Castellanos. Talk about him. How much do you think that he has helped in fetching them goals? Like I don't watch them enough, but who are their main outlet for goals essentially?
So they play a 4-1-4-1, and Castellano has a more freer role. And then I forgot the CDM who plays there, but he pretty much stays back with the defensive line and lets all these midfielders cook, right?
Romeo?
Yeah, Romeo.
Oriel Romeo, yeah.
Yeah, at least that's what I saw from the highlights. I don't watch a lot of Girona as well.
Mm.
But yeah, these midfielders are given real freedom to bomb forward, and Cassiano's one of them. He's like their main outlet to spray the final pass or the pre-assist,
Mm.
and that's how they've been getting their goals. Their fullbacks also, like, surprisingly, they don't bomb forward as much. Uh, Only
Oh,
when they
their
do.
goalkeeper is a Castilla guy because I was looking at this name. I know this guy,
Yeah,
man. Tony Foydas.
yeah,
He's with Girona, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Mm, right.
Who else? I
The-
feel like one more Real Madrid player is who that. I'm not sure. Is Hugo Duro in
Uh,
Girona or is he in some other team?
Hugo Doro was in Valencia for a bit, and then
Valencia.
Hugo Doro isn't essentially Castilla. You know that, right? He played at the Castilla for a year. That's it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he isn't exactly Cantera, but I get what you mean.
Mm.
Um, yeah. So like you were saying, Oriol Romeo actually facilitates all these players to go and do their thing. How is this guy, man? Siagenkov. He's Russian, right? Ukrainian, I guess.
I'm not sure. I watched the last 5 matches in highlights, but then didn't really get to see what they do from their right hand side. They attack a lot from the left hand side, from what I see. I think he had some defensive shifts though, so he's pretty much like the Bernardo Silvas or the Fede Valverde's,
Mm.
always coming back to help. But yeah,
A lot of these players actually, yeah, they don't ring a bell for me, honestly. Like the only guys I can have some sort of familiarity with is Stuani. I think he's basically at the twilight of his career. He's like what 30, 35 or something.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, man,
but yeah.
that's one of the reasons. Like, there's nothing special about the Girona team, like, but they still managed to get the top done. They're punching above their weight. It's all down to the planning and the squad. Because they're a very
Mm,
balanced squad. And but I want to take this opportunity, to talk about some of the relegation threatened teams and ask your opinion on how things will pan out if these teams do get relegated. Because
mm.
teams like Getafe, even Valencia, maybe even Espanyol, they do have some wonderful players. And if they do sink down to the La Liga Smart Bank, do you think all of them are going to look out? So for Getafe, they have Enes Unal, Mayoral, Alenia, Munir, and even Porto. For Valencia, of course, Jose Caya, who we've always scouted, but who has chosen to stay at Valencia as a one club man.
He'll stay there. He'll
Yeah,
stay there.
he'll probably stay, but there's Clivert, there's Castillejo, Gabriel Paulista, who you might be more familiar with. And
Mm.
yeah, those guys might end up leaving, yeah. And overall, like, it will take the standard of the league down, even though they haven't been alive and kicking. That will is got to be a blow for La Liga, man.
See, La Liga has already taken a big hit. Big, massive hit this season that has left a sour taste in my mouth. Has left a sour taste in many people's mouth. There's still protests going on about whatever has been discussed already. The league is in a really bad place, and it'll only compound the matters. Like if a team like Valencia actually goes down, I can't imagine what is going to happen. That man has single-handedly eaten up the club, man. What is that fucker's name? I forgot. Ooh.
Farooq always has nice things to say about him.
He has nice things to say. You mean?
I was being sarcastic.
Right. Yeah, I forgot his name, but um, Singaporean honor, I think. Anyway,
Peter Lim, Peter Lim.
Peter Lim, yeah. So he has completely fucked up Valencia over the years, and it's a shame. It's a shame. It was a club that I remember even during the peak of La Liga, even when we were flying, when it's Valencia against Real Madrid at home or away at I forgot
Mestalla.
the stadium's name
Mestalla.
as well. Mestalla. See, Mestalla was supposed to be heritage. It is a heritage site. It is one of the most storied stadiums in Spain. And when you see some of the recent pictures of Mestalla, man, it's a sorry sight. And the very fact that Valencia has dropped down so much in their standing in the league, in their overall reputation, betting on a finished Cavani, I thought earlier in the season would be something to be looking forward to, but it hasn't worked out at all for him. Either it is honestly just baffling. They sold Gaddis, who was supposed to be one of their brightest stars, and yeah, man, like they've always had a very exciting, bright squad, always on the front foot. Yeah, man, nothing but good stuff to say about Valencia. Um, it's just sad. I just can't believe what is happening. I hope they don't undergo the same stuff that Depot had to undergo. They were once atop La Liga, was one of the most feared sites in Spain. But now they're what, the third tier um,
Oh,
of the Spanish football pyramid, and they don't look like they're coming back anytime soon. Um, I hope Valencia doesn't suffer that fate. I hope and pray that they are the ones who make it out of this relegation scrap. They should stay up. They should fucking stay up for the sake of the league, for the sake of themselves. People like Getafe can fuck off, fuck right
yeah,
off. Honestly, I have no sympathy for Getafe.
man, but
Bullies.
I really want Espanyol to stay though. They always put up a fight against Barca, and they
Yeah,
have Braithwaite and Denis Suarez. Those are really good
RDT
players.
as well.
Yeah,
Mm, Espanyol, yeah, I can put some respect on them as well. Enemies of our enemies are our friends, yeah. So I guess Espanyol um, should try their best as well. But Elche will bounce back. We have seen this Elche do their own thing. They are the perfect definition of a yo-yo club. I'm happy for Cadiz. They are like only 2 points away, but still they are doing their best. Massive respect for Cadiz. Valladolid, obviously they'll stay up. I'm pretty sure. Sevilla, from what they looked like early parts of the season, I'm so happy that they are back 12th, humbled United last week. They're good, man. They're good. I'm happy for so many of these clubs, but my feeling with the league has just been
yeah,
rock bottom this season. It wasn't like that, man. Honestly, I hope it changes, and I hope I can put this behind me. Um, the very reason that I got into football, because I was a guy who used to only religiously follow cricket because I used to play cricket, never used to play football. So the reason why I kind of left cricket was the match fixing and the constant second thoughts of whether a game is fixed or not. Reading about all of this stuff, I wonder, how much of what we are seeing is actually fucking true. So I hope that uneasy feeling goes away. Let Barcelona win their thing, and maybe we can take it back next year. As much as it hurts for me to say that. Um, yeah, my thoughts on the relegation teams. Yeah, man. I hope Valencia does stay up. And Espanyol, like you said, might have a chance.
yeah. You want to read one of the comments? So Ricardo is over there. He says, "How
Oh, I
confident
didn't I
are
didn't
you
check the
guys
comments.
going into the first leg against City? IMO, if we need to be direct, we need to be precise and have accurate execution. We need to put them to the sword."
First leg against City, never confident. Never confident. Um, Obviously, while on the preview with Steve, I hope I have my chest out like last day, because I did have my chest out. Closer to the game, I'll have my chest out. Right now, I have no chest, but closer to the game, I'll have my chest out once the kickoff is blown. I'll still lose my chest. Just because it's City, and I've seen over the years how much it stresses me out facing them. So Yeah, it's not looking great at this moment in time, especially with City on such a high. And I've been watching what they've been doing. Man, I don't think any team can stand in their way. But we have shown if any team can actually, like put a dent in the City's armor, it is us. It is us, and I'll hope we can do it. Militao and Alaba is a big miss. Let's just see what happens, man. Let's just see how Rudiger becomes better, or like decides to be better. Yeah, Totti was at the Valdebebas, right? Like, so him meeting his idol probably would give him a boost, I guess.
Yeah.
Rudiger and Totti have very deep connection from back in his days at AS Roma. So hopefully that might be the spark he needs. What was the second part? In my opinion, if we need to be direct, we need to be precise and have accurate execution. We need to put them to the sword. Yeah, because just so people know, just like everyone knows, like just like us, we leave a lot of space when we attack. City are going to do the same. Like both teams are going to have ample space to attack. It's not going to be like the games we had against Chelsea, where it is more often than not cat and mouse, and like guessing who's going to crack first. Against City, it's going to be two teams going at each other full pedal. Um, so I hope we can be clinical again, man, and I hope we don't rely for them to score first for us to wake up. That is my greatest fear, because City is the worst team in the world to face when you are a goal down. We did the unthinkable last year, but yeah, man, we can't leave our fate to miracles again. That's
Man,
my only
but
thing.
do you see any other outcome happening? Because I'm pretty sure they're going to start the match on the back foot and then sit back, man.
I guess that is a given. Especially adding Haaland to it. Even without Haaland last year, we saw how the game started. Um, well, it's funny because I can perfectly see that happening. I saw that last year. I completely understand your point as well, but I would have no peace of mind watching them take the lead and us struggling to get back into the game. That's not a place I want to be again, honestly.
Yeah.
We need to score first. Absolutely need to score first. Um, yeah, man. City is still a mile away. I just can't think about it yet. Um, it is scary, honestly. It doesn't make my day any easier thinking about City. But Dennis the Great was actually asking. He was mentioning I don't like Valencia, but they are a big club and I like playing them. Yeah, games against Valencia are an absolute cracker all the time. Very entertaining football club in general. But Jacob, quickly for tomorrow, what will be your team setup, especially in midfield? We saw how Carlo did the open roulette and basically let Ceballos, Chouameni, and Fede take the field. Do you see the same midfield going out?
Oh no, man. Of course not,
Mm.
because Ceballos is suspended. He got
Suspended,
uh,
yeah.
5 yellows, so right now he's
Mm.
suspended. And Cruz and Modric, they've been well rested. I totally
Mm.
can see maybe both of them back, especially since Ceballos is going to be missing. Valverde, I feel like he deserves a rest, man. He's been running up and down for the last 4 or 5 games without any rest. So honestly, I would like to see Valverde get a bit of rest. Maybe Modric and Cruz are enough to, face off against Girona.
Mm. Chouameni, Modric, and Cruz is a very balanced lineup.
Yeah.
Against Girona, I think that would suffice. And yeah, like I would prefer that they get like I mentioned earlier in the post match yesterday. These guys, who are older than their peers, like they would prefer for them to be active than to be um getting cold feet, sitting out on the bench. And about the defense. this is another question. Um, would you start Vasquez again, or would you bring back Carvajal for Girona?
No, man. I think I'll start with Carvajal and maybe give Camavinga as well a rest. The
Mm,
man's, I don't know, but Camavinga is in such a run of form. It would be a crime to take him away from the pitch, you know.
yeah, yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe we can even practice Nacho in the back line and not play Militao. I don't know because Carlo's quotes after the post match, I mean after the match, was that he would try to practice the lineup that we're gonna have against City.
Mm.
So we could maybe see that against the mini City, like you said.
Yeah, yeah. I guess it is the perfect occasion to test your waters out. So if he's gonna actually think about City from now on in, what is the date today? So when we are playing Girona, it'll be the 25th of April, and we play City on the 9th. So yeah, like around 2 weeks, yeah,
Yeah.
from the time when we kick off on Tuesday. So I guess it makes sense. So if against City, um, Alaba is not back, so it'll be Militao, Rudiger,
No, Nacho and Rudiger.
Nacho, and Camavinga, or
Wait, no
Carvajal and
Militao?
Camavinga.
No Militao, man.
Oh no, Militao. By the way, but yeah, my bad, my bad. Militao suspended. So Nacho, Rudiger, Camavinga, and Carvajal probably for tomorrow. Um, yeah, I think that is what Carlo's going to go with, and I hope these guys can gel out some sort of cohesion. And I'm pretty sure even if they gel out some sort of cohesion, Rudiger's going to do something utterly insane to to completely throw everyone off guard. Because I've seen enough, man. I've seen enough to know his teammates by his side. Obviously, they're not going to shit on him. They're gonna support him, but they're not comfortable. Like, have you seen them look comfortable when defending alongside Rudiger? No.
It's not just the defense. Like whenever they have an opportunity to pass it to any other player other than Rudiger, they will do so. They're never passing it to Rudiger. Yeah, I've seen that multiple times. Rudiger is very sketchy. We even saw him give away against in the last game, and
Mm,
it was a bad giveaway. And yeah, these things are prone to happening with Rudiger on the pitch.
mm,
But my gut feeling is that he will throw all of this aside and get really fired up or like, become extra crazy. That he will totally pocket Haaland. Like if there is one player on that defensive line that we might see against City, Rudiger is the one with the like the potential to do that. And I just hope he pulls something out of the bag, something unexpected.
let's just hope and pray that's the case, man. Because Haaland is gonna be difficult to deal with. I guess giving Rudiger some consistency in the lineup should be what Carlo should be looking at. Maybe probably start him 3 games back to back and see where Rudiger is at. And if at all Rudiger isn't actually in a good run of form, maybe then do something different. I don't know what you can do exactly different when Alaba and Militao are in the mud. But if Alaba comes back, I guess that's a much more straightforward answer.
Yeah,
Nacho and Alaba can do the job. Can do the job. They're not the most physically imposing defenders, but
we just got to
I guess it.
stop all of the balls coming in. I think with Alaba back, we should be much more secure.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. So yeah, man. I hope Carlo gives Rudiger a fair chance. Although I shit on him all the time, I completely understand that he has still taken enough steps to actually integrate into the side. Everybody loves him. He's not a problem. It gives us 100%. Which I expect from Rudiger, but it's nice to see. In your first year, he's been wearing his heart on his sleeve every time he steps on the pitch. So all that is nice. I just hope Carlo gives him a run of continuous games to just check out where he is at, in terms of his standings in the pecking order, and he gains some sort of confidence. I hope, like he has always been a guy who is chaotic, but I hope there's this extra bit of chaotic stuff that he's been doing is solely down to him actually playing for us, for Real Madrid. That step up from Chelsea to Real Madrid is a pretty big one. He knows that. Everybody knows that. So he might click into gear. You never know. This club can make even the most average of players look really really good. I've seen that. I've seen that baptism being done so many times. Like over the years. So Rodiger, I think he can be baptized as well, although he's Muslim. But I'm just you know um, referring to the process of getting him to be better. Um, but yeah, man, that's my only thing. Kamavinga, like you said, we can't afford to drop him. Some of the stuff that he does on the pitch, man, it just makes me wonder when he truly transforms into a proper elite midfielder, who can do both sides of the coin extremely well, like like your Modric, who can press, who can defend. Um, he's going to be one scary proposition for opposition teams. Like it's so great to see, even now at the super young age of 20, that he's gaining plaudits from all across Europe. Like when everybody's talking about Jude Bellingham, they're like, oh fuck no, they have Fede, they have Kamavinga, they have Chouameni. Add Bellingham to that, we are finished. That's what Europe thinks.
Yeah.
So nobody was talking about Kamavinga along those lines last season, not even our own fans. But we saw, like what we saw, and we knew that there was a player in him that can actually be super great. But his ease to adapting at left back, where there is so much asked of you defensively, positionally, um, unlike a midfield role, like a left back role, you need to be like at least 20 times more mature to actually uh, play that position well. I have tried playing wing back and it's not fucking easy. I always thought, like receive the ball option, uh, give away an option for an overlap, you're fine. That's it. That's the basics, but it doesn't suffice. Like,
Sure.
like you're overlapping or you're tucking in, it doesn't suffice. It requires so much more nuance than playing the midfield role. Um, yeah, man, Kamavinga, in my opinion, has been pretty good, pretty good. I guess
I mean,
everybody knows.
yeah, at this point, I feel like he's probably like right up there with Vinicius in terms of his dribbling ability. Like I totally can see him running around the Rodri or Bernardo Silva, anyone, man, anyone. You can in this form, Kamavinga can take them on.
Mm. And you reckon, yeah, like he needs to have this continuity going on. We should be protecting him as well, yeah, like whenever we can. I guess that should be also of prime importance. Um, let's quickly move on into the attack. Rodrigo at left wing, give Vinicius a rest.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Rodrigo hardly played the last game, and
Mm,
Vinny had a really intense game. Like he had so many dribbles, and I just hope, man, like one of these guys will be rested sometime soon. And Girona is probably the one to do that. I can I think everyone wants to see Rodrigo succeed in the left wing now when Vinicius
mhm,
is not there because just to have an option to rest Vinny. Uh,
yeah.
but I don't know, man. Carlo is very strange. He just walk these guys to the ground if they're still running.
Mm. Benzema, do you think he's getting rested?
But who like okay? So if you're gonna rest Benzema, then Vinny is obviously gonna
This
be
is the
playing.
thing. This is the thing. We can't rest both of them together. Yeah, this is fucking Real Madrid in 2023. People,
Yeah.
they can't rest their two standout players.
And
It's
Carlo,
mad.
in this quotes, he had to say, he even had the audacity to say, "Oh, we have such a deep squad that we can rotate so much." It's a joke, man. It's an absolute joke.
No, you know Carlo, man. He never, like, he's so seasoned a manager, a guy who deals with press. He knows every fucking bait there is out there. And before the journalist even tries to be sneaky, he just shuts it down. That's the way Italians
Yeah.
shut shit down. It's not new to me. Um,
But
he would
like,
say, yeah,
yeah, go ahead, go ahead. But I just
no,
had
no,
a
like
thought.
he
Okay. I just had
Go
a
on, go
thought
on.
on like an alternative to how we could, rest Benzema. So we could
Mm.
play Rodrigo up front, Asensio on the left, and Lucas Vazquez on the right. What do you think of that?
We have done that. We have done that. We have done that before. Yeah, like I'm not sure when exactly. This year or last year, we have done that. So it can work. It can work. Vasquez can do a job. He's a right winger by trade, so he can do a job. Good shout. Good shout. My brain is not working honestly for this La Liga season. I wish it was working at optimal capacity, but it's a very good shout. Asensio rightfully deserves to start. Like he has been thrown himself at every opportunity he's been getting as of late. That'll be a really good front three. If it doesn't work out, then bring on Vinny. You
Yeah,
know, last 20 minutes or so. Um, this can be a good stretching of their legs, especially Vasquez, who has been a bit rusty. Like in and out of the team, suffering with injuries and whatnot. It'll be great. Dennis, the great in the comments section, he says Valverde needs a rest. Please, Carlo, we need him so bad against City. Absolutely. Fede also. He looks fatigued, yeah. Like when I see him, he looks like there is little left in Fede's tank. Especially like in big games on big nights, you don't see it as much because
yeah,
he's pulling out the the reserve tank, to be working. But last night, I don't know, he felt a little jarred. I don't know.
yeah. Man, I think that's a trend we've seen with Fede's La Liga games. So he chooses
Mm.
moments when the team is doing well. He also runs like crazy. But then when the team is not doing well, before we used to see that when he was in his maximum fitness before the World Cup, he used to run at them. He used to be the first one to press. He used to be leading the attacks. But we just don't see it now. He chooses his moments, which is smart in a way. When you're playing every single match, you have to do that.
I hope Carlo really takes a page out of his own book from last year, to actually navigate this into the season. Last year it was let's just be honest. Yes, the World Cup phase, the World Cup break has added to the strain on our muscles, on our mental fatigue and whatnot. But last year, at this period in time, we were actually fighting for the league as well. The league wasn't done by um, April 21st, if I'm not mistaken. So it was a much more tougher circumstance to actually navigate. This year, the league is out of the way. Carlo should be doing much better in terms of rotation and yeah, like refreshing the squad at every single opportunity available.
Yeah, man, like our,
Um,
our standards with Carlos rotations are so low that we're no longer asking for any Castilla players to come on.
yeah, it is speak about the Castilla thing, but I don't care at this point. Honestly, I don't care one bit because I'm pretty certain the guy who deserves to break into the first team next year he's here. Arribas is here. He is basically done. So it's only a matter of him actually getting a proper kit number, uh, which I hope isn't the isn't the case like the Gavi, like where he was given the number 30. He's given a proper first team number and, like properly respected for what he has been showing at Castilla over the last 3 years or so. Apart from that, I don't know. I don't know. We can cry and moan about all the prospects, but our club, like they know better, man. They know what to do. Um, we can't expect Carlo to change. And as long as he keeps the squad in shape, brings us trophies, brings us the big years, I don't give a fuck, honestly. Just
Yeah.
want my team to win. Um, right, man, Jacob. Any other thoughts? Any other stuff that we need to cover?
No, man, but it kind of got me thinking, with Totti coming back to, visiting all the players.
Mm.
Can you remember any Real Madrid player who has had that privilege, of being at the top of their game? Totti could walk into basically any team at his peak
Mm.
and be the starter. Have
Mm.
you remembered any Real Madrid player who was at the top like Totti, but stayed at Real Madrid and was a one club player?
Raul.
Raul, yeah, of course.
He could have gone into any team anytime he liked. And I haven't seen Raul during his peak years. I watched him for bits, maybe during his final year at Real Madrid, in bits, Um, but when he actually went to Schalke, that's when people started realizing
Mm,
what this man was about. He took them to the Champions League semi-finals.
yeah.
He played
Remember,
alongside guys like Draxler and
and
whatnot.
Huntelaar,
If I'm not mistaken.
Huntelaar. I remember that
Yeah,
Huntelaar goal, man. That was a nice one.
Classy and Huntelaar, yeah. But he was also a very good player for us as well. Yeah, man. For me, it's Raul. Like everywhere he goes, like people would respect the name. Raul Gonzalez does
Yeah.
demand respect everywhere he goes. Who is it in your opinion? Like, do you have someone in mind?
I mean, apart from Raul, maybe Casillas, of course. He was in a one club
He
manager.
did.
He was forced out of the club in a sense.
I was super sad when he actually left, but his time was up, man.
Yeah.
His time at
I
the
mean,
top was done.
Raul's time at the top was done as well. Like he kind of over and extended his stay, but he had the props to. I mean, he wasn't really bad as well, as much as Casillas.
With Casillas, you know the stuff, right? His John or wife and whatnot leaking stuff to the press.
Yeah.
He had some issues with the board and whatnot, so that kind of stained it a bit, I guess. It's not good, but now everything is fine, man. No, nobody has any animosity. There's mutual respect between all parties.
I think
So
the last player who had like I mean, alligated leaks, but it was Isco, right? It was something along those lines.
but it was far far softer than that one
Oh
with
yeah,
Mourinho and Casillas. It was a
that
big
was
big thing.
crazy, man. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the famous mole hunt for that 2 month period, 3 month period, where it was all fucking crazy. Isco's was much more toned down. Nobody gives a fuck about Isco, honestly, what he does. Like it's not that deep. But I guess that's pretty much it. Much love for the love people. Dennis, as always, Ricardo, who has joined us. This was kind of an unexpected preview that we had to kind of prepone a day. Again, much love for our audio listeners. Cross 20K past week was a really humbling experience. Like I always mention, the reason why I always mention this at the end before we go is to be grateful for, how much um, love that you guys have shown us for making this a two-way conversation. People actually reaching us out, like how do we get involved? Those were stuff that I used to dream about before I started this podcast. So to see all of that, man, honestly, it like I'm telling you, we are just over the moon. When I showed screenshots of that to these guys, they just know that what they do means so much to so many people. Like what they talk echo so many sentiments of all of you out there. Um, so yeah, man, like keep supporting us. That's my humble request. Uh, if you can, tell a friend, tell your relatives. If you're getting married, tell your fucking in-laws. Like that's my another request. We are on the road to 1K, a little less than 400 more subs. I hope we can get it before the end of the season. I hope we go on to do great things this season. Our podcast, um, fortunately, touch wood, all of that has been a course of good stuff. Like the debut year of our podcast, we won the double. I hope we can repeat it this year. We have every chance to do it, man. I hope and believe we can. Girona is a tricky away place to go. I have had some, you know, tricky situations, like dealing with Girona as a fan. I'm not gonna underestimate them. Just go do a thing, give it our all, nick a 1-0 win, come back. I don't want to suffer a draw or a loss because that'll be a dent in our momentum. Just keep it ticking. That's it. Jacob, what are your thoughts? Final thoughts?
Yeah, man, I just want to see a 2-1 victory or a 1-0 as well. And some fringe players being tested out. And Nacho at centre back, hopefully, just to see how it works. And yeah.
Yeah, good luck to Rene Jesus and Miguel Gutierrez as well. Hopefully, they get to have a good showing. Albeit, like we remain on the winning side at the end of the full 90. But also, yeah, do check out our partners on Instagram, Real Madrid Committee. They run a brilliant fan page. The link is in the description below. Until next time, good vibes only. Ala Madrid.
Hala Madrid.